Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Tom, your favorite dating advice expert on YouTube. I know. And I have a question for you. How smooth is your text game? Has there ever been a time where you were texting someone that you liked, you sent them a text message that took you 20 minutes to come up with, it was perfect, you sent it out to them, and then you get nothing. You get left on red, they don't even care, they just leave you hanging. I want you to know, you are not alone. It's happened to the best of us, even me. It's even happened to me. But that was a long time ago. Obviously that doesn't ever happen to me anymore, because, you know, who wouldn't reply to me? And one thing I want you to know is that if this has ever happened to you, it is not your fault. Okay, it's your fault a little bit. It's not completely your fault, though. When you send a lot of text messages, you're bound to make a couple mistakes, and if you don't have some sort of rules, some sort of guidelines of things to do and things to avoid, then you're not gonna know what you're not gonna know if you're doing something right or wrong, because you don't have these little guidelines, a little checklist of things to make sure you're doing everything right. So I thought today I would give you a little checklist, 5 things to avoid doing anytime you're texting someone, so that you make sure you're not making some of the biggest mistakes that you might be making. So this is a video about my top 5 things to avoid doing while texting someone that you like. So if you guys are excited about this video, if you want me to make another video like this in the future, let me know. Give this video a thumbs up down below, and if we get enough thumbs up, I'll gladly make a part 2. Or we can make a video about 5 things to do, things not to avoid. We can make like a video about like the opposite of this. So if you want me to do that, we can also do that as well. Just leave a comment. Let me know which one you would prefer. I think we should shoot for 5,000 thumbs up. I think if we get 5,000, I'll make another one like that. You gotta set a goal. If you don't have a goal, there's nothing to aim for. Let's shoot for 5,000 thumbs up. Once we get there, I will gladly make a part 2. Or 1,000 comments. Or 1,000. If we get 1,000 comments on this video, if we get 1,000 comments that are complete sentences, I will make a part 2. Anyway, guys, with that being said, let's dive right in. So number 1, the first thing that you have to avoid while texting someone, and guys, this one I hate, okay? This one's like my biggest pet peeve. That's why it's number 1, okay? It is the shitty one-liner. I have dedicated entire videos to this topic alone. Because honestly, if I'm going throughout my day, I'm doing stuff, I'm busy, and I get a text from someone, I'm like, oh, this must be important. Let's see what they're saying. Then I read it, and it says, hey. What do you want me to say to that? What is the point of just saying hey? If you're saying hey, I'm assuming you have something more important that you want to get to eventually, but like, just say that. If you text me the word hey, all I'm gonna do is reply back with the word hey again, except I'm probably gonna put an exclamation point at the end of it to let you know that I'm a little bit more excited about life than you are. But any of those one-liners that you say like hey or what's up, that kind of stuff, the reason I think those kind of text messages suck, and this is just my opinion, but I think they suck, because they don't elicit any emotion from the other person. All of this advice is all about in the beginning of a relationship, when you're just starting to get to know that person. Once you've known them for a while, then you can say, hey, I still don't do it, I still hate it. But I'm just saying, like, these are specifically for when you're in the beginning phases of talking to someone. In the early stages, when you just start texting each other, you just start getting to know each other, you gotta make every single text punch them in the jaw with emotional impact. Your text messages should be as addicting as one of those clickbait articles they have on Snapchat, except I don't think anyone uses Snapchat anymore. Does anyone use Snapchat? Follow me on Instagram, just Tom Flynn. I actually talked about this specifically in one of my emails last week. I don't know if you guys are on my email list. If you are, type email squad in the comments, hashtag email squad. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, basically, I'm just talking about how YouTube sucks, and so I gotta give my advice on other platforms. So I give extra bonus advice that's not on YouTube on my email list. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we can talk about that later. Basically though, what I was talking about in the email, if I want to like really generalize it, because in the email I'm more specific, but basically what I was saying is that the more emotional impact someone gets from you every single time they talk to you, the more alive they feel when they're around you. And so that's just my opinion. So stop sending text messages that are like hey or what's up. Send something that they actually really want to reply to, because there's a ball that's moving forward. Anyway, that's number 1. Let's talk about number 2. My hair is slowly getting less and less dry and is slowly falling down my face. So number 2, stop going into interview mode. When I do one-on-one coaching with When I do one-on-one coaching with some of my clients, I will talk to them about how to make interview mode work. Because when you're on a date with someone, there are times where you can use interview mode, and it can work tremendously. And the reason why is because you will make more friends in 2 months being interested in them than you will in 2 years trying to make people interested in you. So there's a time and a place to ask people questions. Over text is not the time and place. The whole point of texting should be one thing and one thing only. It's to meet up with them and actually hang out in person. Like, why are you trying to build a relationship over texting? When you're doing it, you're gonna put in 10 times the effort, 10 times the time, and you're gonna get half the result that you would if you just went out on a date with them once. Over text, when you're asking them a million questions, odds are they're gonna become predictable. It's gonna become obvious that you're just trying to keep the conversation going, and you would just be, eventually they're just gonna get bored. They're not gonna wanna reply. And then when you ask them a question and you get left on read, then it's really tough, because then if you send them another message and they don't reply to that, next thing you know, you're getting screenshots being sent to their entire group chat with them and their boys. And look, if you're watching my videos, if you're on Team Sexy like the rest of us, that doesn't happen to you. So don't go into interview mode when you're texting someone, okay? You can ask questions here and there, switch it up once in a while, make an assumption, okay? It's like a question, only sexier. Number 3. Let's talk about number 3 real quick. Being needy or emotional, okay? This right here is a chemistry killer. Y'all already know that. But for some reason, even though y'all already know that, some of y'all still do it. And I made a whole video recently about how to not be needy ever again. But if I was gonna add something to this video that I didn't actually say in that video, it's just the fact that when you tell someone that you like them or how great you think things are going with you and them, it instantly puts all of this pressure on the next time that you're hanging out, okay? If you wanna tell them, hey, I really like how things are going, and you say that in person, that could be a really sincere moment, right? Especially if it's right after y'all just had a little moment. I don't know, whatever that means to you. But when you say it over text, there's not really a reason to say it over text. It's kind of weird, you know what I mean? And the goal of texting, again, is to hang out. And if you're putting all this pressure by, saying how great you think things are going, suddenly there's more pressure next time you do hang out, and if there's more pressure, the likelihood of you guys hanging out again significantly drops. And plus, not only that, it's just more fun when they don't necessarily know what you're thinking. They're trying to figure it out, they can't read you, they're thinking about you more. It's just a better position for you to be in. And so that right there alone, that's kind of like the verbal side of being emotionally needy or things like that. But now, number 4, this one's actually really interesting. Because sometimes when I'm working with a one-on-one client, I'll have them show me the text messages between them and the person that they like. And as soon as I see their phone, I don't even read the messages. I just scroll. I just do one of these. Well, actually, I'd be scrolling up, so I'd be doing this. And if all I see when I'm scrolling up is a sea of blue messages, like look at this. See, this is pretty good. This is like pretty 50-50, right? This is me and my friend Elena. So if it looks like that, awesome. But if I'm seeing an ocean of blue messages and like one-liners from the person they're talking to, that's a problem. Because when that's happening, when you have the paragraph and they have the 2 words, who is investing more in the interaction? Who is the one who cares more about the conversation? Obviously you, because you're putting more effort in. So here's a good rule of thumb for the next time you're texting someone that you like, okay? Never send more than 2 lines. And the reason I say that is because if they're not sending you more than 2 lines, why are you? Once you get to a point where they are investing more, they're sending you 3, 4, 5 lines, then, you can break the rule. Then you can start reciprocating value, right? Remember, these are all just guidelines, okay? These aren't necessarily strict rules that you have to follow. I want to get like more advanced with like the psychology of texting, because like this kind of stuff is so fun to me. I just don't want to I don't want to bore you guys. I'm trying to keep it basic, but at the same time, I could like totally start nerding out and just like go really deep into like really nuanced things. I don't know if you guys would want that though, but like I could nerd out about this stuff for like hours. I think this stuff is so fun. I just don't know if you guys like the psychology of it or if you just want the quick techniques and tactics. I don't know what you guys really want. I think you guys just want the techniques. I don't think you care about the psychology, so I don't want to bore you. But I can nerd out about this stuff for hours because I think this stuff is so much fun, understanding like how people think and stuff like that. The kind of stuff that like psychologically, involuntarily makes someone like you more, like that's the fun stuff to me. That's the stuff that I think is super cool. Anything about how people think, why they behave the way they do, how to get them to feel certain things or do certain things, that's like my passion. That's kind of, by the way, that's kind of like what I was talking about earlier. That's kind of what I like talking about. That's kind of what I enjoy talking about more like on my email list, because I can get more nuance on there. Like it's like I get to write everything out exactly how I want to explain it. And so if you're like me, if you enjoy that kind of stuff, if you really want to get good at understanding attraction and psychology and human behavior, there's a link in the description down below that you can click and you can join my daily advice dating email. Wait, daily advice dating advice daily email newsletter. There we go. Because making these videos takes a lot of time, and I have so much advice advice that I want to give, but it's so much easier if I just have like an email list that I can send you guys every single day and just give you little tips. I just think it's super easy. Plus, when you're on the email list, I can email you myself when my videos come out, because a lot of you guys, you might have notifications on, but YouTube doesn't care about that. They still don't tell people when people have new videos out. So if you like my videos, if you like my advice, click the link in the description down below. You'll also get 7 questions that you can copy and paste in a text, or you can ask them on a date that instantly makes someone turned on, whether it's a guy or a girl if you roll that way. Either way, it all works. So that's what you'll get on day 1, and then you'll get new advice every single day that I don't even post on YouTube because I just have too much advice, and I like to keep the advice in the email list a little bit more exclusive for the people that are over there. So if you're interested, click that link. But anyway, guys, if this is your first time ever watching one of my videos and you don't hate my face, feel free to subscribe because we make videos like this every single week. And guys, that's really all I've got to say on it, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.